We'll now begin with questioning, and I'll recognize myself for 5 minutes. As I mentioned in my opening statement, I believe that we should pursue an all of the above type energy, energy strategy to shore up our supply chain for critical minerals. This includes extraction, processing, recycling, and trade. Dr. Michaud-Foss, in your opinion, is it possible for us to secure our supply chain through material recycling and trade alone?
I don't think so, and I think it will be a really long time before recycling is able to contribute as much as we need. And I appreciate fully your comment about the biggest mine being on our roads. It's already true. We recycle a lot, and we do a very good job with recovering metal, iron, scrap iron, steel, copper, aluminum, lots of other materials come into the market from recycling. But we're in a building mode that, if you follow the logic that's out there, and that's my first question, is the logic good logic of what we're doing, will we be able to sustain supply and delivery on time and at an affordable cost to beat that? And that's the issue, and I don't think that relying on just those two things does that. On the trade side, looking at the call on taxpayer resources to support securing supply chains abroad, we really have not had a full conversation about that.
Right. Good, good. Well, as many of you have mentioned, and I also mentioned it, China announced export restrictions on gallium, germanium, and graphite last year. And prior to that announcement, the United States was 100% import reliant on China for gallium and graphite, and 50% import reliant on China for germanium. So we understand that we need to produce more critical materials in the U.S., and I'm very proud of the fact that one of the only mines that we have here, one of the few mines that we have here, is in my district, in the 1st District of Georgia, in Jessup, Georgia. It produces several minerals that go into products from aircraft engines to medical devices and help us live our everyday lives. But that mine also produces natural monazite ore, which contains rare earth elements, and that ore is shipped to a company in Utah to recover and rare earth elements like uranium, and they'll be processed into fuels for nuclear energy or materials for magnet technologies that go into EVs and more. This mine is, as I say, one of the only handful of operational critical mineral mines in the United States, and we need to do more across the country. I think everybody would agree with that. In March, U.S. Critical Materials announced the discovery, Mr. Vincent, of a strategically significant high-grade gallium deposit in Montana. The state also has large graphite reserves and potential for germanium through its lignite coal. Can you discuss the extraction potential in your state as it pertains to these minerals, and is there interest in developing these resources?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Chair. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think in my written testimony, I kind of illustrated how our state did fill that role during some of our most critical times, and we still have much more untapped resource within our state than what's already been tapped. And that also, like I said, includes what could be in our wastes. And so that's one of the things we're working as an association on with our members, is to look at what we might be able to get out of historic sources, as well as get more out of the permitted facilities that we have right now. You mentioned the discovery of a deposit of rare earth elements down in the Bitterroot. It's in southwest Montana. That holds some promise, but it's very early in the process. I mean, there's a long hierarchy it takes from identifying a geologic resource to actually being able to develop it. I did hand out a simple graph that kind of shows that process. So they're very low.
Thank you. I got that. Good. Thank you. Mr. Stroud, I want to ask you, from your experience, what kind of midstream logistics are mining companies currently looking for when they're pursuing a mining project in the United States?
It's not uncommon for companies to look for port access because they are looking for an ability to get the materials out of the U.S. to China.
That's one of the reasons why this mine in my district, we've got the Savannah and Brunswick ports right near there, so that's a big advantage for this mine here. So thank you for that.